Hello and welcome inside Citizens Business Bank Arena. I'm Brian Tabajay alongside Jose Duran here for a thrilling Pacific Divisional matchup here in Ontario. Jose, what are you looking forward to the most tonight?
Well, besides that, Landon Donovan is in the house.
I didn't want to tease it that early, but go ahead.
Want to see an Ontario Fury to get after it early. Maintain defensive stability throughout the whole game, but get on top of these Sockers on top early, as they did a couple of times earlier in the season that saw them have the lead earlier in the games.
Well, back-to-back losses on the road in Monterey, and a tough one just against Turlock not too long ago. We do get Izzy Cisse back, the captain of your Ontario Fury. We do get some other key components that came over just a few games ago in Echeverria and Quiros, along with bringing back Concalves, who now rejoins an Ontario Fury team that really does have a great mixture of young talent in Adrian Perez and veteran leadership, along with Izzy Cisse. Aside from the mental hump that they have to get over with San Diego, what do you want to see defensively from Ontario here tonight?
Toughness, tough one-on-one play for the Fury, but most importantly, control the game. Once you control the game, control the pace, everything comes easily. So I want to see more of that from the Fury, and if all that goes successfully, we should have a good night for the Fury.
Well, we want to welcome all you MASL fans across the country here. Landon Donovan is here and in the building. He will not play tonight, does have his debut set for the MASL on the 15th at home against Tacoma, another huge Pacific Division matchup there for San Diego. So just moments away here from Citizens Business Bank Arena from kickoff. We can't wait to get this one kicked off and started for you here, fans. As we mentioned, San Diego coming in here are on a hot streak, to say the least. 10-1 overall in the Pacific. Ontario nipping at their heels, an even 7-7 at 500 in second place. After tonight's contest, they play El Paso. Jimmy Nordberg has injected these new pieces in the lineup. Let's see if they get some playing time here tonight.
Yeah, we'll see if they get some playing time tonight, but most importantly, we'll have Chris Toth, ex-San Diego, who has it against his own team. He'll bring out the best of him tonight.
All right, well, stay tuned, fans. You're watching live action here on 11 Sports from Ontario, California. We're going down to the field as soon as possible to get things started here between Ontario and
Stop living with hair loss, that is. Losing your hair is no fun, and no one...
Citizens Business Bank Arena. Alongside Jose Duran, I'm Brian Tabajay. Another Pacific Divisional matchup here between your home team, Ontario Fury, against the visiting San Diego Sockers. You're watching the Major Arena Soccer League on 11 Sports, dedicated to delivering world-class sports and lifestyle entertainment. 11 Sports USA is the exclusive national broadcasting partner of the MASL. Fans, so glad you can join us. Only score on tilt tonight that you're going to have to be looking over is this matchup right here, right now, from the Inland Empire, just underway here from Citizens Business Bank Arena. So you're starting 5 for the Ontario Fury: Maicon de Abreu, Adrian Perez, Chico Francisco Cordero, Victor Quiros, and the veteran defender, Evan McNeely, alongside, of course, Jose Chris Toth. Always nice to say that he's on the Ontario side now.
Yeah, on the Ontario side, former San Diego Soccer's goalkeeper, and we know that he has played over 150 caps, and now he's on the Ontario side.
So I think that the first thing we got to touch on is the last game and matchup for Ontario. A tough loss to the visiting Turlock. They were down by 5 goals, eventually forced it to overtime, losing in overtime. A tough loss, not only for Ontario in the standings, but just mentally. And all due respect to Turlock, seeking out their first victory of the season, they were able to do so against the Fury not too long ago. Push off the ball there. Concalves hits the turf, gets a late whistle. And the first set piece play of the game just underway here in the first quarter. Referees tonight: Ryan Sigich, Graham Florence, assistant referee Lauren Barnett, and the fourth official, Tony Ponce. Anibal Echeverria standing over the ball. Reset, an easy save in the end there for Pardo. Toth plays the ball well off of his back line, finds Concalves to the near side, nearly turned over, and he'll flush it to Charlie Gonzalez. And now Echeverria steers it to the far side. Off the right foot shot attempt there from the youngster, DeBray Holloman. Gonzalez controlling now. Penetrates and steers one just wide. Maintaining possession here. Almost a handball, and it is officially San Diego will restart in their defensive third.
Great start for the Fury so far, being on top of the San Diego Sockers. As we know, they lead the MASL on defense, only allowed 39 goals this season. So the Fury could get in a rhythm early and get on top. We should see a couple goals here in the first quarter if everything works out well for them.
Deep ball sent in. Defensively, that is Quiros for Ontario. Shielding off one defender. And we all know him a little too well. And Leonardo de Oliveira, former Ontario Fury offensive catalyst not too long ago, was dealt over to San Diego in the offseason, in which they received the veteran two-time MASL goalkeeper of the year in Chris Toth. Now Perez, who Jose got some time with MLS franchise LAFC, did. Perez just off the upper 90. Nearly got the opening goal here from Ontario.
It's one of those shots just make your teeth cringe, like, he almost had it. Wasn't with his beautiful preferred left foot that he has, was with his right. But like you mentioned, a player trying out with LAFC and now here with the Fury trying to give a helping hand.
Well, either way, Perez is comfortable left-footed or right-footed. We've seen him finish with both feet. Does lead the team in goals with 20 and in points as well with 24. Nice to see the captain, Izzy Cisse, back onto the pitch for Ontario. Did have a hamstring injury that occurred here at home.
Yeah.
And now back with the club is Cisse. Toth off his back line now, looking over his options, and will steer it to the near side. And another veteran and former San Diego Soccer, Jeff Hughes. Up and out of bounds. Restart right here at midfield.
I always enjoy when Hughes is on the field. Huge leader out there, and the experience he brings on the table, it's unequivocal for the Fury.
Well, after tonight's contest, Jose, they'll get a little bit of rest. Next home game and match for Ontario is Sunday the 17th against El Paso. And now San Diego with possession in their attacking half.
Great San Diego team, 10-1, first in the Pacific Division. It's no surprise why They're such a great team as they structure themselves very well defensively, and it all starts in the back with that goalkeeper, Boris Pardo.
Well,
Man,
if you remember
what can you
last
say?
year, I mean, it was 1 and 1A really with Pardo and Toth.
Yeah.
Led the team, led the MASL in save percentages, and just overall goalie statistics were both of them. And then that's why they somewhat made that move with Ontario. Toth has been nothing but world class since he joined the franchise this year. Got to know the veteran goalkeeper, and he has nothing but nice things to say about the San Diego Sockers franchise. And of course, we're happy to have him here in the Inland Empire. Best opportunity of the game so far belongs to Ontario off the right foot of Adrian Perez. Just inches away from getting the opening goal here from Citizens Business Bank Arena. Now Childs. Work a 1-2. Echeverria defending there. To the near side. That is Pee Wee Ortega.
Great player, P. Ortega, commands the back line of the San Diego Sockers, but just overall his presence on the field. His birthday not so long ago, so belated birthday to Pee Wee. And
well, we don't want him celebrating here tonight, that's for sure.
Not tonight, but regardless, happy birthday, Pee Wee.
Childs now after the restart, defended heavily from Quiros. And Childs will reset with Pee Wee and company. Now Childs shields off Andy Reyes, turns, and did have an option to the far side in Gonzalez, but now Echeverria on the break for Ontario. 1v2 goes Echeverria, steers it to the far side. In the very end, that was deflected. The youngster De Abreu trying to get any potential option there offensively. A little push off the ball, and it is called a late whistle there, but Escoto definitely was pushed off the ball. Foul committed by the captain Cisse, and they'll restart right near midfield.
Yeah, Escoto goes on the floor, but he is the MASL's January Player of the Month. 10 goals, 6 assists, 16 points total in January.
You see that replay there, fans, is Cisse definitely an arm that pushed Escoto down to the turf, but here we are after the restart. San Diego with some fresh bodies onto the pitch. De Oliveira there defended by Quiros. Quiros falls off the ball and recovers. De Oliveira steers the ball in, and Toth disrupted there. After Pittman went in for a challenge. See the replay here as Pittman just going for the ball, and even 50-50 ball there at that point. Toth looks like he got a little disruption there on his lower back. Hopefully he's okay. He's a tough guy.
Yeah, a tough guy, and he says he's ready to take on San Diego. Question earlier, he said, I'm not in San Diego anymore, and I want them to know why they lost me. Every time I play them, I'm going to make things very difficult, he said. So up for the challenge, and so far a great save. Got him on the ground, but glad he's on our side.
Yeah, Toth actually just makes things look a lot easier than most goalkeepers.
Absolutely.
And suffice to say, their last trip down to Pechanga, he had a heck of a game there, keeping Ontario in it, and then unfortunately losing after the clock hit zeros. But here we are from Ontario, another matchup with their rivals out of the Pacific Division. San Diego just on fire, overall record of 10-1. Ontario sits in at 7-7 and even 500 after the last couple losses against Monterey and Turlock. Near midfield now, they're still steer it to De Oliveira. Defended there from McNeely. Chico Francisco comes to help out, and they win that battle. McNeely picks his head up, finds Andy Reyes ahead of the pack, and just an extra touch off the chest. A little too strong there from Reyes. Otherwise, he would have had a potential opportunity there.
And that's what the Fury has to keep on doing moving forward. Scoring goals on the counter while maintaining that defensive structure in the back is absolutely key. We almost saw it there with Andy Reyes on the breakaway, but we see more of that throughout the game. We're going to see a Fury team that's going to be successful tonight.
Down along the near side boards, that is the veteran Zay Roberto. Trying to find some help. There is Farber. And now Guillermo Pino. I would say about 50-50 split as far as possession so far in this opening quarter. Deep ball sent in. It is Farber, and it is a late whistle there after Concalves tangled up. Deep ball sent in off of those boards off the far side. And for a second, I thought it was Farber. It looks like it is Bond.
Having a couple issues getting up there. Now he's up.
Never want to see these guys injured whatsoever. The good thing is Bond's walking off on his own power. Looks like if you watch the replay there that there's a little scrum for the ball.
Yeah, and Bond was probable tonight with a leg injury, so got to keep an eye on that for the Sockers for tonight.
On the year, 6 points, 3 goals, 3 assists for Bond.
Just very dangerous here for the Sockers.
Childs on the set piece play. Fires away. Toth meets that ball right in his midsection. Gives his ribs a lucky rub. Says thank you for stopping that powerful shot off the franchise leading scorer of the Sockers in Craig Childs.
He just stepped up and took that, huh? Made himself look big. Ball just bounced right off him. No space for the San Diego Soccer shot.
Nice healthy crowd here from the Inland Empire. Anticipating what should be an eventful evening to say the least. Charlie Gonzalez on the turn at midfield. And disrupted there defensively from San Diego. To the far side they work. It is Quiros defensively for Ontario. Lined up and just over the goal is Gonzalez. That ball remains in play and they'll maintain possession in their attacking half. Chico Francisco tangled up now with Contreras.
That's getting chippy down there. Here from the coach's
Hey,
side,
man.
the player's side.
It's San Diego and Ontario. I would expect nothing less but physical, hard play from both sides.
The I-15 SoCal Derby getting off to a heated start.
That is Escoto along the near side. Goes around 2 defenders. Claims a foul. Referee says play on. And here we are with Quiros to the far side. Deep ball sent in for De Abreu. He'll lay it off to Perez. The best offensive weapon for Ontario. Decides to lay it off to Echeverria to the far side. Off the boards. Rebound in there. McNeely. Not the touch that he wanted on the rebound. San Diego on the counter. To the far side. Claiming handball there. Referees say play on. McNeely will reset with Echeverria. And now Toth for Ontario.
That no goal so far in the first 10 minutes of the first quarter, but action-packed, back and forth. Exactly what you want to see here in a beautiful Citizens Business Bank Arena.
Under 5 minutes now remain here in the opening quarter from Ontario. McNeely really had that teed up, boy.
Gee.
And on the other end, it was Gonzalez after a scrum there near midfield with Concalves. But Gonzalez had that ball lined up off the boards, and he teed up just up and out of bounds. As you see on the replay there, tangled up near midfield was Concalves. And on the restart is Ontario. Just out of the reach of the youngster DeBray Holloman. Perez now pressuring near midfield. Serta will wait for reinforcements. Perez, man, I'm looking for Perez to really stand out here in this game, this matchup with San Diego. They know him so well, but man, easier said than done when you're trying to stop Perez offensively. No foul call there. Referee says play on again. De Oliveira a little upset, but here we are with San Diego again attacking here in the opening quarter. Holloman tangled up. It is a blue card given to the rookie Holloman.
Yeah,
we'll wait for the official call there. DeBray disagreeing kindly with the referees, but with 3:47 remaining, it'll be a power play when we return here from Ontario.
Have you ever experienced a tequila aged 7 years in an American oak barrel and finished off 1 year in a French oak barrel? Califino, treat yourself to the fino things in life. Use promo code FINO30 to get 30% off your entire order. Buy now on califinotequila.com.
Smile.
No matter how well you provide for your family today, if you don't have life insurance, their future may be at risk. Why not help guarantee those you love $250,000 or more with life insurance through AIG Direct? Less than $14 a month buys a 40-year-old man a $250,000 term life policy. That's up to 3 times what you can get from other companies for the same price. Make the future more secure for those you love.
Call 1-800-723-8547.
Is your credit card debt driving you batty?
We're going up! Just like your credit card fees and interest rates.
Always fear! The debt suckers are here! One call to Consolidated Credit can get the debt suckers off your back. Consolidated Credit will lower your interest rates, consolidate your bills into one easy payment, and get you out of debt fast. Call Consolidated Credit and get your life back.
Call 800-207-4423. That's 800-207-4423.
So San Diego gets the first power play of tonight's contest. A 2-minute minor boarding penalty for the rookie DeBray Holloman. And San Diego with the man advantage here early on in this game. 3:47 remains here in the opening quarter. On the kill, Reyes, De Abreu, Quiros, and McNeely.
We'll see how they do in the power play. The Sockers have their power play conversion has been down to just 21% this season, down from 53% last year.
On the penalty kill for Ontario, a 76 percentage for the kill. Let's see if they can ramp up that percentage here with 1:39 remaining on the power play for the visiting Sockers.
It's important to see how the Fury close out these last 3 minutes, but most importantly, the next 1 minute and 20 seconds left for the power play.
Well, you got some real threats there in Childs to the far side, that's for sure. And Ortega is no slouch himself. So the right people on here for the man advantage for San Diego. And tried to weave it and really thread it into the foot of De Oliveira. Toth sniffs that one out and tries to get Perez up top, but San Diego will intercept. 55 seconds remain on the power play for San Diego. Perez is going to have to get back defensively. And there it is, the opening goal from Ontario. It is a power play goal for Leonardo De Oliveira.
What a goal by Leo De Oliveira, but a better pass by number 16, Miram Ruiz, the Mexican international. Just a great pass, but a better finish by number 11 of the San Diego Sockers. Finds the back of the net. Nothing Christoph could do there.
Well, defensively, Jose, you got to see that there was nothing but 2 players around him, not anyone on De Oliveira on his toes. So a power play goal here from Ontario with 2:37 remaining in the opening quarter. San Diego on top of Ontario, 1-0.
Yeah, the opposite of what you wanted to see for the first quarter of your head coach, Jimmy Norberg. We mentioned that the Fury, the 7 games that they have won this season, they got onto it early. They gave it to the opposing team in the first quarter and early on in the game. Not what we're seeing so far, but still very much play to play.
Well, closing out this quarter is going to be important, and that's how you do it to make sure the score remains 1-0. Chris Toth saving the game so far for Ontario.
Yeah, what a save. Makes it look so easy, but just prevented the Sockers from going up 2-0.
2 minutes remain here in the opening quarter, and an important 2 minutes to close out. As Cisse will reset with his goalkeeper Toth. And out Concalves. So unsuccessful on the kill on that attempt.
Yeah.
Ontario is going to have to readjust here after 1 quarter of play. Let's see if they can inject Perez a little bit more offensively. The last handful of minutes here, it's been all possession for San Diego. Perez, a deep man to the far side. That ball intended for De Abreu to the near side. Echeverria settles it down, and in the end, easy save for Pardo.
Sockers looking very well defensively and containing Adrian Perez, not allowing him to get comfortable. He, as we know, could just take any quick second and go ahead and create something out of nothing. But so far, as soon as he touches the ball, there's one or two men on top of him.
Quiros will play that ball off the far side boards. Intercepted there, just steered it wide. Childs there now for San Diego, disrupted by Cisse. He'll maintain possession for Ontario momentarily. And now Quiros to the near side. 45 seconds remain here with De Abreu. Perez now on the attack for Ontario. No real threat there. Chico Francisco was making an overlapping run to the far side. Perez did not see him. As time winding down here in the opening quarter. They'll reset with Pardo. Pardo, goals against average 3.5. Starting goalkeeper each and every contest so far for San Diego. Up and out of bounds with 8.6 remaining here in the opening quarter.
And that goalkeeper, Boris Pardo, 10-1 overall, 3.50 goals average. And like I mentioned, that defense and with that kind of goalkeeper on goal, it's going to be very difficult, only for the Fury, but for the league to go ahead and get through them on a daily night.
Pardo over Toth in overall record and goals against average. But you know what? Toth has a goal on the season. How about that?
That's right. Got to go on one of those late throw-ins.
He said, you know what? But when they eliminated that three-line rule, it was all or nothing there at that point. Deep ball sent in at the buzzer. And after 1 quarter of play here from Citizens Business Bank Arena, it is a 1-0 lead for the visiting San Diego Sockers. We'll be back on 11 Sports.
Have you ever experienced a tequila aged 7 years in an American oak barrel and finished off 1 year in a French oak barrel? Califino, treat yourself to the fino things in life. Use promo code FINO30 to get 30% off your entire order. Buy now on califinotequila.com.
Is IRS debt affecting you and your family? If you received a wage garnishment notice, a bank levy, or have unfiled taxes, or if you have an existing IRS debt of $10,000 or more, you need to make the call.
I made the call, and Paramount gave me peace of mind.
Paramount Tax Relief. We're here when it counts the most.
I made the call.
I made the call.
We made the call.
For a free consultation, make the call today.
Is your credit card debt driving you batty?
We're going up! Just like your credit card fees and interest rates. Always fear, the debt suckers are here.
One call to Consolidated Credit can get the debt suckers off your back. Consolidated Credit will lower your interest rates, consolidate your bills into one easy payment, and get you out of debt fast. Call Consolidated Credit and get your life back.
Call 800-207-4423. That's 800-207-4423.
Come on. Come on, come on. Get it. Let's go. Shoot! Score! Yeah! And that's why I'm a proud sponsor of the Fury Soccer Team.
After 1 quarter of play, it was a power play goal for the visitors and Leonardo de Oliveira. Oliveira netting his 5th goal on the season and his 15th point, giving up that power play on the Ontario side. The youngster, DeBray Holloman, a boarding call, 2-minute minor penalty that disrupted that quarter just for those few minutes there. But nonetheless, a 1-0 lead for the visitors. Second quarter coming up right here from Citizens Business Bank Arena. Alongside Jose Duran, I'm Brian Tabajay. You're watching the Major Arena Soccer League on 11 Sports, dedicated to delivering world-class sports and lifestyle entertainment. 11 Sports USA is the exclusive national broadcasting partner of the MASL. Fans, you want to tune in also for the halftime session, or interview, I should say. Halftime interview. Myself, Landon Donovan, midfield. Classy guy, man. I mean, I've heard nothing but great things about him. I've seen him in interviews as well. He's just nothing but class, always open to talking, obviously, about soccer. He did compare the indoor and outdoor game, which was nice to hear from him. He's set to make his debut next Friday at Pechanga Arena in San Diego versus Tacoma. Whistle there along the near side boards. Chico Francisco disrupted, I believe, from Contreras of San Diego.
It's where the Fury are going to have to make key plays, and dead balls has something create out of nothing, because so far in the first 15 minutes, even though they got on a hot start for the first 5 minutes, we haven't seen any of the much same anticipation and rhythm from them throughout the second half.
Dave Ray will fire away just up and out of bounds. No real threat, though, in the end after that set-piece play opportunity early on here in the second quarter. Man, De Oliveira, defensively, he just didn't feel any real pressure when he was in between those two defenders on that power play and into the back of the net. He knows exactly what to do in that instance. Toth now off of his back line, plucks out Perez near midfield. He'll steer it to the far side, and Reyes and Childs and company will make sure they maintain possession. It was about 50-50 after that first quarter. Well, throughout most of that quarter, and then San Diego really controlling possession to close out that opening quarter.
Yeah, first 5 minutes, it looked like San Diego were trying to get into a rhythm, find themselves on the field, and eventually throughout the latter part of that quarter, they were able to go ahead and find themselves key touches here, key touches there. But unfortunately for the Fury, that blue card to Holloman really affected them so far.
So it is Ortega. And San Diego will maintain possession right near midfield with Contreras. Man, Echeverria and Reyes are then one of them's that then have to dye their hair a different shade of blonde here.
They're almost same height too, out there.
Echeverria,
great talent.
Excuse me, Jose Echeverria, the former Turlock and Solis de Sonora club member. Andy Reyes has had his stint in the MASL all locally here in Ontario. Another product of the Southern California Inland Empire. Now Chico Francisco to the far side, shoved off that ball. And San Diego wins that contest against Chico Francisco.
Contreras very well in the back, and when he connects with Reese, number 63 able to go ahead and come out playing defensively and joining the offensive attack. Looks so beautiful in the back.
Too much space there given up from Andy Reyes. He didn't know how much room he actually had against those defenders and loses the ball. It is Contreras, and now Gonzalez. I still cannot tell Felipe and Juan Gonzalez apart. They are uber identical. Juan Gonzalez having a small stint here in Ontario. Joins his twin brother in San Diego. Deep ball sent into the near side from Pardo. De Oliveira settles, controls, lays it off. And to the far side, it works off the foot of Gonzalez. And San Diego still maintaining possession here. Almost as if each and every time San Diego possesses the ball, Ontario is kind of shuffling back, Jose, getting into that defensive shell. They need to penetrate offensively and really break out. They have as much talent on this team here in Ontario as San Diego. So it'll be interesting to see what head coach Jimmy Nordberg and Bernie Lilleval, along with Kevin Curtis, will draw up the rest of the game here. Bouncing ball near midfield. Chico Francisco goes shoulder to shoulder with a couple San Diego Sockers and Farber and Pino. And now Gutierrez to the near side. 1v1 against De Abreu. Chip ball sent in off the foot of De Oliveira to Farber, and Toth smartly resets there with Quiros. McNeely with the back heel switch of the field there to De Abreu. Man, McNeely has been a key component here as far as veteran leadership. You look at Toth, you look at Hughes, you look at Cisse, you look at McNeely. You can tell during warm-ups, during pregame, McNeely is a very vocal leader. And boy, I'm glad that he's here on the team here in Ontario, just to guide all these youngsters to a successful, hopefully potential playoff run here in the Newman Cup playoffs.
Yeah, like you said it. Usually pregame, he's always the one leading, always the one yelling, telling his players what he wants to see out of them throughout the game and pregame. And even when he's not on the field, he's leading these players.
Did have a little bit of an injury early on in the season. So he was out, I believe, about 4 games for Ontario. Elbow to the face on Echeverria as Bond standing in between 2 players. We'll see if we can get a replay here. But in between 2 players and got his arm up. I don't believe it was intentional at all. But a little shove there. Ultimately, a foul was called. But
love touch.
You touched on physical play here early on in the opening quarter, and it continues here in the second.
Yeah, I mean, it was elbow to the face, but just kind of momentum play in soccer. It takes you there where you're playing with your elbows up. Foul for the Fury.
So Echeverria loses that ball in their attacking half. Perez trying to pressure along with Echeverria, and it is a Fury ball on the restart coming up. 9:45 here remaining in the first half of play. If you were late to the party, it was a power play goal for the San Diego Sockers. Off the foot of Leonardo de Oliveira. The Sockers claiming on the restart that it's their ball. Perez claiming it's their ball on the restart for Ontario. In the end, referees are giving the ball to the home team, Ontario Fury. Concalves, the man over the ball to restart here on the set piece play.
It's a lot of talking, a lot of chippiness going on the field.
Yeah,
I love it.
Concalves will let Echeverria do it, and off the head. Whew, defensively, man, that was a laser of a shot. Defended there from Felipe Gonzalez. Just wide. I don't know if Perez actually got the smallest of touches on that deflection, but here we are on the counter. It is Echeverria tangled up, maintains possession, fires away, and off the hands of Pardo. Man, Echeverria has a rifle of a shot there. McNeely will reset for Ontario. At midfield is Quiros. Fresh bodies onto the field is Charlie Gonzalez to the near side. Plays it off the boards and steered out of harm's way defensively from San Diego. Serta getting pressured from Chico Francisco and Charlie Gonzalez. No shot there in the end for Ontario. De Abreu will maintain possession, and then a deflection remains wide.
More of this from the Fury, more of this.
Exactly, a nice pickup here. You know, we talked about the broadcaster's curse, right? It happened in the Super Bowl, too, with the missed field goal. But we requested a little bit more pressure here in the second quarter, and Charlie Gonzalez, Pardo with a fantastic save for the visitors off of his right knee to make sure that ball doesn't find its way into the back of the net. On the replay here, Gonzalez, not really the laces touch that you want there on that volley attempt. Nonetheless, an attempt on goal there, but Pardo doing his best for San Diego.
Yeah, as we see, got it with the inside part of his foot. Would have gotten that with the laces like you mentioned. Would have been rifled through.
To the far side, San Diego works, and it is Childs after the switch. Great job from Reyes to get back defensively for Ontario. That ball a little high and luckily stays in bounds. Reyes will dance around one defender. But a defensive clearance. Was he inside his yellow line or up and out of bounds? after the restart. It will be Ontario Fury ball working here from left to right on the broadcast here in the second quarter. We'll be back in just a few minutes here from Ontario. San Diego leads 1-0. With 7:49 remaining here in the second quarter, it is Ontario Fury ball. After the deep ball was sent in, some confusion on the pitch with the referees as far as possession. But it will be Ontario Fury ball here on the restart. McNeely and Toth back defensively. Childs the lone man up top for San Diego. Gonzalez will handle that ball to the far side. Steers it to the near side, intended for Childs. McNeely there for the home team, Ontario Fury. Reyes chipping in defensively. Just clears the zone. San Diego to reset here with Ortega to the near side. The lone goal so far belongs off the foot of Leonardo de Oliveira. A power play opportunity, successful in the first quarter after a 2-minute minor boarding penalty on the rookie DeBray Holloman. They've had a couple chances. Here has Ontario the last handful of minutes in this quarter. We asked for a little ramp up, Jose. We got a little ramp up.
Yeah.
Timeout on the pitch was called from head coach Phil Salvaggio. He wanted to reset expectations here as far as their plan of attack remaining here in the first half of play.
We saw him in the timeout, just leading, trying to pump up his team, really getting on top of them. Even though for us, it looked like the Sockers had a control on this game. The last couple of minutes, the Fury have been on charge.
De Oliveira to the far side did look like it was potentially a handball, but no call there. He dances around two defenders, and that would have been a goal of the week candidate there off the foot of Leonardo de Oliveira. But fans, you don't want to miss the halftime interview with Landon Donovan in the building, not suited up yet for the San Diego Sockers. And for some reason, if you were missing all that news about Landon Donovan, he is part of now the most winningest franchise in MASL, the San Diego Sockers. The Ontario/Redlands, I guess, Inland Empire native.
Yeah.
Landon Donovan had a few things to say about the indoor-outdoor comparison, and of course, I had to ask that question. You know, living out here, Jose, would he ever join? And you'll have to tune in and see. Obviously, making his debut for the Sockers at home next week against the Tacoma Stars, another Pacific Divisional matchup for the 10-1 first place San Diego Sockers. It'll be interesting to see the impact of Landon Donovan in the MASL. Obviously, great news for this blossoming league. 17 teams overall in this MASL. Mississauga joining the MASL this season. Of course, El Paso making its return. Unfortunately, losing Solis to Sonora, but still maintaining that Mexico presence. Monterrey RGV.
That's right. The Flash and the Barracas.
I need to get that accent, that roll of the accent. I don't have it as fluent as you. And forgive me, Sockers fans, I'm blanking right now on Craig Elstein's partner on the broadcast. He really does roll those R's. It's always fun to watch that broadcast.
Yeah.
When they're down there in Pachanga Arena. Deep ball sent in, intended for Francisco. Dances around with Contreras to maintain possession in their attacking half. A little 1-2 quickly off of the foot of Perez. Intercepted there from San Diego.
See more of Adrian Perez. Seen flashes here and there, but they've been able to contain number 16 very well, the Sockers have tonight. But if he's able to go ahead and just get one sprint and one out of him, he'll put it in the back of the net without a doubt.
And I did touch on Craig Elstein. The MASL now has a podcast. Join host Craig Elstein as he talks to players, officials, and coaches from across the league and takes you behind the scenes of the MASL. Check out MASLsoccer.com to listen to past episodes and subscribe to the official MASL podcast. Look forward to that one as well. San Diego with possession to the far side. Quiros and Reyes, along with Francisco defensively. A tangle up there to the far side boards.
As you'll see, down.
Is that Escoto to the far side?
Yeah. Got two players on him.
You see on the replay here, Quiros in there tight. I didn't see too much there on the replay.
What's towards the end, sort of just ramming him up against him. You see, just falls towards him. There. Not much, but enough for the officials to blow the whistle.
Fortunately, he's up on his own power, and fortunately, no real threat off of that set piece play from San Diego. This quarter is absolutely flying by.
Yeah.
3 minutes, 20 seconds remain here in the first half.
Got a burst of speed. Escoto's so good.
To the far side they work. Quiros trying to get back defensively. That ball steered wide. Childs would have been the beneficiary if he just got a toe or a cleat on that. And now Echeverria shoved off of that ball as Contreras wins that battle. Pardo, an extra contact there. Referees say play on to the far side. De Abreu, the youngster, pressuring for Ontario. Man, they have really silenced Adrian Perez so far. As Quiros trying to get something going here. Charlie Gonzalez will go for the touchdown attempt there. Unsuccessful. Quiros tried to disrupt that back pass to the goalkeeper Pardo. And with 2:25 remaining, San Diego on the attack off the fingertips of Toth. And a corner coming up here for San Diego. Gutierrez really let loose on that opportunity. Again, no one around defensively for the Fury. Let's see if they can tweak things here. Make sure the score remains 1-0. Referee whistles the play dead. And a restart here coming for Ontario.
Yeah, and before that, we saw Pardo just barely clear the ball out of there. Even though they're leading the team in defensively, just 39 goals conceded, they do tend to have a couple of mislaps in the defensive side of the soccer, so hopefully the Fury can take advantage of that.
Well done from Farber, and even better from his former teammate in Toth. Dances around Farber after Farber did so well to generate an opportunity for himself. As Cisse now to the far side for Ontario. Perez going 1v1. And lets loose. That is deflected off the hands of Pardo. As Perez dances around a couple of defenders there. The ball laid off to the captain, Cisse. Echeverria to the near side, and Pardo will intercept that play off the boards. We got halftime interviews coming up. We got an interview with Landon Donovan. You might have heard of him coming up at halftime as well. The former American national player, multiple champion in the MLS, has experience in Mexico, in England, in Germany. Landon Donovan has been quite the presence for American soccer over a span of about 15 to 20 years. To the near side board, San Diego works, and Cisse trying to make sure there's nothing there offensively for the attackers. The second quarter has coming by so fast here. Gonzalez now had a wide open look and an opportunity. Maybe a bouncing ball at the very last second there for Gonzalez. Unsuccessful in putting it on frame, thankfully. And after the ball sails up and out of bounds, total restart for Ontario. Intercepted there after the ball was rolled out intended for Echeverria. Stays in bounds. It is Childs with 30 seconds remaining. Just wide of the goal was Childs off of his right foot. Maybe caught Toth off guard as the ball was bouncing right in front of his left foot. Decided to go with an inside out shot attempt there. With 13 seconds remaining, the ball steered wide off of McNeely defensively. Echeverria will clear the zone. And with 5 seconds now remaining for San Diego, long distance shot attempt sails up and out of bounds. 2.4 seconds remain here in the first half. A 1-0 lead for the visiting San Diego Sockers. And after the restart here, after 1 half of play, it is a 1-0 lead for the visitors, the San Diego Sockers. Halftime interviews coming up shortly here from Citizens Business Bank Arena. And I want to remind you, outside of being on the team, the best way to know what's happening in the MASL is to tune in to Kick This. Every weekend, Soccer Sam discusses the ins and outs of all MASL action. Find Kick This every Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern on iHeartRadio. So a power play goal is the difference, as we do have head coach Jimmy Nordberg alongside my partner Jose Duran for the first half interview.
Head coach, the Fury started off a good start. Tight 1-0 game. What do you have to do to get things going your way in the second half?
Well, I think the obvious one is we got to score a couple goals. I think we've had some chances and we put ourselves in good spots, but we haven't been able to find the back of the net yet. So we got to take advantage of our chances. Sockers is a very good team defensively, and we've been able to break them down, but we got to put those chances away. We got to get the ball lower in our attack to put them under a little bit more pressure. We're very happy to keep it at the top of the arc and at the half field. So as we get it lower, we'll get goals in the second half.
Okay. Best of luck in the second half, Coach.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. That's head coach Jimmy Nordberg here. The Fury down 1-0 at halftime. Back to you, Brian.
Brought to you by Ad America. Visit each table in the concourse to collect them all. Please welcome.
Come on. Come on. Come on. Get it. Let's go. Shoot. Score. Yeah! And that's why I'm a proud sponsor of the Fury Soccer Team.
Stop. Living with hair loss, that is. Losing your hair is no fun, and no one wants to be bald, but there is hope.
Getting my hair back was the best thing that ever happened to me.
I'm happy with the way I look now.
I'm very excited about my hair.
I feel beautiful.
I love my hair.
Hair Club offers all proven hair loss solutions backed by our commitment to satisfaction guarantee. If you're not 100% satisfied with the solution you choose, Hair Club will apply the purchase price to another proven hair loss solution or transplant more hair at no charge.
And it was the best thing I've ever done.
It looks good on me.
Call in the next 5 minutes to get your free brochure at no obligation. It will tell you everything you need to know about your hair loss problem, and it's free if you call now.
I am more pleased than what I had even imagined.
I at least look, I would say, 5 years younger.
I'm 52, and I look better now than I did when I was in my 40s.
I feel great.
And that's not all. The first 100 people who call will also receive $250 off any hair loss solution from Hair Club. Call now.
Hello and welcome. Brought to you by 11 Sports. Brian Tabajay inside Citizens Business Bank Arena with Landon Donovan. Landon, welcome.
Thank you. Beautiful place here, and look forward to playing here, not today, but at some point.
All the fans across the MASL would like to welcome you. I personally would like to welcome you as well. The Major Arena Soccer League made a huge transaction just a few weeks ago. Acquisition of the superstar, the icon of American soccer, really, after all your accolades internationally, Gold Cup, World Cup, multiple titles in the MLS with the Galaxy, spent time in England, Germany, most recently Mexico. What would you like to accomplish here for the MASL?
A few things. One, I moved to San Diego 3 years ago with my family. My wife is from San Diego. I got hers pretty intimately over the last few years, and so when they brought it up, I was open-minded about it. Yeah. But for me, in the end, I love this game. I grew up playing indoor just as much as I did playing outdoor, and I loved playing. And it's an opportunity for me to do something in my new hometown that's enjoyable, that continues to grow soccer, and hopefully, for what is the best team in the league, win another championship.
Now, you mentioned the indoor-outdoor concept there. Can you speak briefly on the comparisons from indoor and outdoor?
Well, I have a lot to learn. It's part of the reason why I'm here tonight, is just to take it in up close. I've been watching a lot of film, obviously training. It is different, and it's a lot different. And only after probably my 5th training session did it start to click a little bit. There are a lot of different things. I won't bore people with the intricacies, but there are a lot of things that are vastly different from the outdoor to the indoor, and it's not as easy as just stepping out on the field. So I want to make sure that I am well prepared when I do play my first game, and hopefully we're on that path.
And you have your debut scheduled for next week at home against Tacoma on the 15th. How physically fit are you to play and make that debut?
Well, there are different types of fit. People who don't play professional sports say, oh, you're fit, you're fine. But being that level of fit versus professional athlete fit is much different. So I still have a ways to go to get to my top fitness, but I think within a week I'll be ready to contribute.
Now, locally, I have to ask you, you're born in Redlands, or you're from Redlands?
I was born here.
Born here in Ontario, from Redlands?
Grew up in Redlands.
Grew up in the Inland Empire, fans. Why San Diego? The team that the Ontario Fury have the biggest rivalry and hard time getting over against San Diego. Thoughts on that? Will you potentially ever come to Ontario if that's the case?
Well, a few things. Anyone who's married knows that in any decision as a man, you generally have at most 49% of the say. So when my wife wanted to move to San Diego, that was what was going to happen. I love San Diego. I love Ontario. I grew up here. I grew up on 4th Street for the first 10 years of my life. So I love it here. I never say never to anything, but I'm happy to be a part of the Sockers, and I'm happy to be here for my first trip, even though I'm not playing.
Well, again, Landon, welcome to the MASL. All the Ontario fans would like to welcome you, and we look forward to seeing you in April when you come visit us again, the San Diego Soccer's Landon Donovan. Landon, thank you for the time.
Thank you, my pleasure. I look forward to April 4th. I'll be here, and I hope everyone else is too.
All right.
Have you ever experienced a tequila aged 7 years in an American oak barrel and finished off 1 year in a French oak barrel? Califino treat yourself to the fino things in life. Use promo code FINO30 to get 30% off your entire order. Buy now on califinotequila.com.
My name is Blair Underwood. 3 years ago, I started taking Omega XL as a part of my daily healthy lifestyle routine. It's changed my life. I'm here to share my knowledge about this amazing supplement. Omega XL is a natural omega-3 product that is very effective at reducing pain due to inflammation. I rarely endorse any product, but Omega XL is different because it works.
Omega XL is effective at relieving pain and the symptoms of inflammation, including swelling, daily aches and pains, back pain, and swollen joints.
Oh, I'm not weighed down by the burden of pain. It's changed my life. Omega XL, it works.
Start taking this product and you're going to be really happy with the results.
When you're in pain, that's all you can think of.
Omega XL offers a 90-day money-back guarantee from the date of your first order. Call now and you'll receive a bottle of Omega XL absolutely free with your first order.
You don't have to accept living a life with pain.
Call now or visit us on the web.
Thank you, Brian. I'm here with head coach Phil Savaggio of the San Diego Sockers. Coach, great first half defensively, able to contain a very hot offensive Ontario Fury side. What does your team have to do in the second half to get out of here with a victory?
Well, you know, we're going to keep that defensive mode up. We're going to play a little bit lower in the second half, a little bit low pressure. And our biggest threat is Perez, and we got to make sure we shut him down. We're preparing a little man on him, so and that's what we're going to keep doing in the second half.
Best of luck in the second half, Coach.
Thank you.
That is head coach Phil Savaggio here. 1-0 halftime. We should be an exciting second half coming up. Back to you, Brian.
Well, after one half of play here from Citizens Business Bank Arena, it is a 1-0 lead for the visiting San Diego Sockers. Overall record for the Sockers, 10-1. Your Ontario Fury home team, Ontario Fury, sitting in second place in the Pacific Division at an overall record of 7-7, and even 500 for the second place Ontario Fury. The lone goal in the first half belongs to Leonardo de Oliveira, a power play goal. And right now, as it stands, 8 shots apiece. Chris Toth with 5 saves for the Ontario Fury, eager to play his former team, the San Diego Sockers. Also in the building here in Ontario, Landon Donovan. If you didn't catch the interview at the half, you can always watch a replay right here on 11 Sports. As you watch some of the highlights here, the lone goal belongs to Leonardo de Oliveira after you saw no defenders around Leo to get that quality shot attempt off was de Oliveira, former Ontario Fury star, really. Leo was an offensive catalyst and then ultimately part of that trade that took place in the offseason. The biggest trade in the MASL, really, with Chris Toth headed over to Ontario. And, of course, Leonardo de Oliveira finding a new home just a few hours south of here off of the 15 freeway. The Ontario Fury would like to thank Mitre USA for providing today's match balls. Mitre, founded in Huddersfield, England, is among the world's oldest sporting goods brands, starting production in 1817. Mitre is a proud partner of Major Arena Soccer League, providing arena-specific match balls to both the MASL and MASL2. The MASL and Mitre share a long-term vision to see arena soccer grow in North America. Mitre's Astro Division ball is the official game ball for MASL League play. Mitre's Astro Division is designed specifically for play on artificial surfaces. It features a more accurate flight than the average ball and has a 30% reduced bounce to make it play more efficiently in arena soccer. You're watching the Major Arena Soccer League on 11 Sports, dedicated to delivering world-class sports and lifestyle entertainment. 11 Sports USA is the exclusive national broadcasting partner of the MASL. Welcome back, fans, inside Citizens Business Bank Arena. My name is Brian Tabaja here on the broadcast. Our first national broadcast, first of 4 national broadcasts here from the Inland Empire, alongside Jose Duran. Jose, what did head coach Phil Savaggio have to say?
Contain number 16, Adrian Perez. They've been able to go ahead and do a very well defensive job on the Fury tonight. 0 goals on an offensive power like the Fury is not easy to do. So as long as they contain number 16, which they have been doing, they should be out of here with a successful result.
Yeah, we touched on that just before the half as far as having a quiet first half for Perez. And the game plan there working out so far for the visiting San Diego Sockers. De Oliveira will try and wrap it around the boards, and then a right-footed shot attempt in the end, off the boards and into the mitts of Chris Toth. You can also, fans, get the latest news on the MASL and your favorite teams. Make sure you are following MASL Soccer on Facebook and Instagram, and MASL Arena on Twitter. Want to remind you, Ontario Fury fans, next game and next home game, Sunday the 17th, right here from CBBA at 5 p.m. local start. The visiting El Paso Coyotes, overall record of 3-8 in that Southwest Division, make their first visit here to the Inland Empire in just a few days. Not only Perez, right? Gonzalez as well. A little quiet in that first half, Jose. Now Perez trying to get around one defender. Late shot attempt there. He's going to get spoken to from the referees on the pitch. A little frustration maybe accumulating there for Perez, and rightfully so.
Yeah. You could tell there the shot is just sort of a, let me get a few out of it, let me get how I get it. He hasn't had a lot of shots tonight on goal, so obviously Boris Pardo and the Sockers not happy with that, but anything that helps to get you on the rhythm.
Well, Perez had that quality shot attempt early on in the first off of his right foot, and Echeverria there after the restart, just wide off the left foot of Echeverria. And Leonardo de Oliveira on the break, a 2-on-none. And boy, they capitalized on that counterattack. It just happened in a blink of an eye. I believe that was Ortega. Unofficially, it was a 2-0 lead for the visiting San Diego Sockers.
Yeah, what a goal here for the Sockers. Counterattack, counterattack, counterattack. Brandon Escoto, January's MASL Player of the Month, gets it in the back of the net. But it all should go half goal to Leo de Oliveira. That breakaway, that go-ahead single move that got him going, opens it up to the left, back of the net. Net moves, 2-0 Sockers.
And at the end of that replay, Echeverria was so close to making it a 1-1 game. Steered it just wide, and they countered and scored. But at the end of that replay, Jose, you can see Echeverria pull up, and he's stretching out his legs on the bench right now. Not a good sign for Ontario. De Abreu lets that ball roll off of his thigh and unable to get a quality shot attempt. And Pardo now trying to pluck out Bond, defended by McNeely. Up and out of bounds, a restart here for the visiting San Diego Sockers.
It's the game of soccer for you here, folks. Those that you don't make, you get conceded up against here. And a very quick turnaround for the Sockers. Executed that counterattack to perfection.
Laser of a shot there off of the foot of Serta and Al Reyes. Boy, DeBray Holloman has been shut out as well. Remember, a couple games ago here from Ontario was probably the goal of the season so far off of that foot of Holloman. Really let loose and erupted here inside Citizens Business Bank Arena. But here we are, a 2-0 hole for the home team, Ontario Fury. Reyes trying to steer it out of harm's way. And now Cisse will utilize his goalkeeper, Toth. Clears it out of their defensive third, but San Diego pressuring now with Bond to the far side. They get it right down the middle, and thankfully Cisse, quick defensively. That is Pino that had a quality attempt there, nearly deflected there in the end. As Ruiz with the shot attempt there, deflected right off the foot of Cisse, nearly right past the goalkeeper of Ontario. Childs, a dangerous ball defensively there. Unsuccessful as Ontario to capitalize. Quiros now will settle things down, look around for his options to hop onto the pitch. Charlie Gonzalez to the near side asking for the ball. McNeely now for Ontario. De Abreu off the head. Perez with a 50-50 challenge, and in the end, a foul call on Perez.
Yeah, sort of at the last second, sort of lets Adrian Perez go with the stronger force at him and takes the bad part of that challenge. But regardless, is San Diego Soccer's dead ball.
It's always a little tricky for referees actually to make that call.
Yeah.
Of course, shoulder-to-shoulder legal here in arena soccer, indoor soccer, I should say, just as the outdoor game, but always a challenging time for the referees to make that split-second decision there. Both teams really just going shoulder-to-shoulder, and like you said, Jose, the defender getting the bad end of that challenge in the end. Can call this now. We'll let that one roll to the far side where Toth is there. McNeely, Perez, De Abreu, Reyes, and Concalves. So we've seen every mixed match of lineup here from head coach Jimmy Nordberg of Ontario to try and get something going, at least here in the second half. We haven't seen too much time from the youngster, Holloman. And now McNeely's pass disrupted there. San Diego on the attack again to the near side. That is Escoto, who did have the last goal. Whiff there from Childs, thankfully, but maintaining possession. Quickly to the near side is Gutierrez.
Boy, with Escoto and Childs so dangerous top. When they connect, it's lethal.
We'll have to get the official score there on their second goal. It was either Escoto or Serta. Nonetheless, a 2-0 lead with 9 minutes remaining here in the third quarter from Ontario. Shot attempt, a weak shot attempt there, but a rebound. Man, that ball had the strangest bounce off of the near side boards. It is Pittman who benefits from that play. As you see on the replay here, no real threat there. A spin off the boards there, and Pittman benefits from that. That was such a weird bounce, and it happened in a split second, as it often does here in the MASL. Toth a little frustrated there. Got defenders standing.
Yeah, you got to stand on your feet. You got to stay on your feet, stay on your toes, and Juan Gonzalez just standing there.
So a 3-0 lead. The latest goal scorer for San Diego, Pittman. He nets his fourth goal on the year and his sixth of the season, 6th point of the season, as there's a timeout on the field. Fans, you can also get the latest news on the MASL and your favorite team. Make sure you are following MASL Soccer on Facebook and Instagram, as well as MASL Arena on Twitter. So timeout on the pitch. If you're the head coach, Jimmy Nordberg, or the assistant, Kevin Curtis, or Bernie Lillebaugh, what are you saying to your players right now?
Where's that energy? Where's that energy and that momentum that started off the first 5 minutes of the game? We saw it throughout the first couple minutes of the first half. The San Diego Sockers were up against their toes. The Fury were on top of them. And ever since then, it's been all San Diego up for a couple of minutes earlier on in the second half. Nothing so far for the Fury here in the third quarter. And just like that, you're down 3-0 here against this first place 10-1 Pacific Division team.
Well, San Diego really just maintaining composure, whether they were up 1-0, 2 or 3.
Absolutely.
Obviously, Ontario trying to punch back to their rivals from the south here in the Pacific Division, Jose. Overall, San Diego has owned this series against Ontario. Their first couple wins against San Diego just coming last season. Ontario, nonetheless, hungry for this victory here at home. A healthy crowd here inside Citizens Business Bank Arena. And some new players to really try and get things going here. 7-7 lost the last two to Monterey and Turlock. Obviously, the more frustrating loss, being down 5 goals in Turlock. Also coming back. So tough loss in Turlock. Down by 5 goals, Jose, and they ultimately tied that game up, losing in overtime to the Express, giving them their first earned victory of the season. What better opportunity than to bounce back here tonight down 3 with 8:40 remaining here in the third quarter. They'll have to get something going here, no doubt about that, as Perez just swarmed defensively, and the game plan from head coach Phil Salvaggio so far working out.
Yeah, as soon as Adrian gets the ball on his feet or anywhere near him, defender quickly on top of him, getting a ghost kind of effect right on him and not allowing him to get comfortable on the field. And it's showing so far, not only for Adrian, but for the Fury. As we know it, once Adrian gets going, the Fury are going as well, as we've seen so far throughout the earlier part of the season.
So Quiros, we'll see if he calls a timeout here. He doesn't. Lays it off to De Abreu, inches away from getting their first goal on the night. Maintaining possession here offensively, but you see that shell of defenders from San Diego, nowhere to go. And Perez will restart with his goalkeeper Toth in their defensive half. Gonzalez to the far side. De Abreu with the slightest of touches there. And now Charlie to the near side. Pardo in the end, the easy save. Nonetheless, a shot on goal, an opportunity here. Let's see if things again ramp up here in this third quarter, Jose.
Yeah, for the Fury's sake, they got to get things going and get things going fast.
Off of the deflection, Perez unable to maintain possession. It is De Oliveira who plucks out Pee-wee Ortega. Dribbles around Toth, still remains off of his back line. In to help is Quiros. And in the end, a foul to the near side boards. But that's what I'm talking about as far as keeping their composure. Pee-wee Ortega tripped up from Toth there, no foul call. And then play continues. Takes the foul call there, and then earns a set piece play to the near side boards. Switch of the field to De Oliveira. Tries to go around Quiros. And San Diego will maintain possession here. 7:10 remaining in the third quarter. If you're late to the party, late joining us here on 11 Sports for the MASL action, it was a 1-0 lead at the half. And then all of a sudden, it went 2 goals and 3 very quickly here in the third quarter. McNeely with the foul near the yellow line. And a little greeting there with McNeely, and I believe that was Ortega. San Diego here on the restart with Childs. He swings it to the far side. Shot steered in and off the hands of Toth, but he clears it out defensively. Now Reyes pressuring for Ontario.
Great crowd here tonight from Citizens Business Bank Arena, and thank you everyone as well joining us through 11 Sports, but a big shout out to those in the Three Punk L's Brewing Company. The San Diego Soccer's having a viewing party tonight, so shout out to you all over there, and thank you for joining us here from beautiful Citizens Business Bank Arena.
And a beer does sound pretty good right now.
Down 3-0, yeah.
Here we are with 6.5 remaining in the third quarter. A spurt of goals here from the visiting San Diego Sockers, 10-1 overall in the Pacific. Ontario trying to avoid going under 500. Right now it's 7-7 in second. Goncalves will draw the foul call there. Not sure what he's saying to the referee after earning that free kick.
I think he wanted a card or some sort, but if you're a Goncalves, it's got to be quicker. It got to be quicker. The ball shouldn't be on your feet for no longer than 2 or 3 seconds at most, and that containment there, it is a foul, but if you want to go ahead and get on top of these soccer teams quickly, it's got to be quicker.
So the restart near side boards with Goncalves. They'll lay it off to Charlie Gonzalez. Split defenders, and it goes back to Toth. Adrian Perez still shut out offensively on the night. The league leader in the MASL with 20 goals. A nice turn there along the near side from Pino. Draws Toth off of his back line. In the end, nothing doing there. Nice to see Echeverria back onto the pitch, Jose. After a foul call a few minutes ago, he pulled up holding his hamstring. So it's nice to see him, number 13, back onto the pitch.
Especially what he was doing when he was on the pitch, creating havoc, getting shots from the outside, and we're going to see a lot more of that if the Fury want to get back into this one.
Turnover again near midfield. It is Childs now that'll steer to the far side to Gutierrez. Quiros now for Ontario. McNeely trying to get things up. You know, in sports, right, you have these plays, whether it be offensively, defensively, drawing a foul, and then really trying to pump up your teammates. And that's what we saw just a minute ago from McNeely. Maybe trying to spurt these guys to get some more energy. You spoke of lack of energy here against San Diego. Can they ramp up here with 4:45 remaining in the third quarter? Maybe get one goal in before the clock hits zeros to end the third quarter. See if they can get some momentum heading into the fourth.
Yeah, absolutely. We know that obviously in soccer, any goals could come up in spurts. So anything they could have to spark them going offensively, it's direly needed, because so far in the second half, it's been flat, to at least a say for the Fury tonight.
Trying to avoid their third consecutive loss in the last handful of games to San Diego. 0-3 so far, but a pair of trips to San Diego as they are on the break now. And it is Farber who will steer it to Serta, and that's broken up from Toth and Cisse. Well done from Ontario. Now on the break is Reyes to the far side. It is De Abreu. I mean, millimeters away from getting one into the net for Ontario. They reset. De Abreu on the attack. 1v1. No real options there. Switches the field to Gonzalez. Off the hands of Pardo. Pins it against the glass. And the Sockers defensively keeping that ball out as the score remains here 3-0 here in the third quarter. So a good spurt there from Ontario. As now on the attack is Concalves, but right as he was trying to get some sort of possession there, De Abreu just jumped right off for a switch.
Man, is it going to be that type of night, Brian, where the ball just does not want to find the back of the net for the Fury?
So it is Concalves now. Related to Holloman. Steers it to the far side in Echeverria. Deflected off of San Diego, claiming a defensive clearance. Referee to the near side says yes.
And they're going to get it, yeah.
To the far side,
right here.
No official call. And now it looks like they'll discuss. Timeout on the field here from Ontario. With 3:07 remaining here in the third quarter of play, San Diego leads Ontario 3-0. Curacao after the defensive clearance. Man over the ball. They'll lay to the far side and McNeely. And that ball remains out of the net for Ontario. Gonzalez with possession. McNeely again on the volley attempt from the far side. Steered to the boards off the hands of Pardo. Some breathing room here momentarily for San Diego. As Gonzalez resets now to the far side with Quiros.
Wow.
Great play call there as McNeely lets loose on another volley attempt that's deflected. Quiros will maintain possession here.
It's unbelievable with the Fury able to go ahead and do exactly what they have to do to get themselves in those key spots. just the ball not seeming to find the way back to the net. I'm not sure there if that was Pardo making the save or the defensive clear on the line, but regardless, it's still 3-0 with 2:19 to play here in the third quarter.
Quiros now to the near side. Lays it off to the corner for the captain, Cisse. Gonzalez threading the needle to Perez. Shoved off of that ball. Maintains possession. Well done from Perez. And now intended for De Abreu. Broken up momentarily. De Oliveira wins that battle. Toth well off of his back line. Does his job defensively, and a restart coming near midfield for the visiting Sockers.
And as the Fury start to push forward their numbers, they got to have that defensive mentality to go ahead and get back there and make sure there are no defensive miscues.
So, Sockers fans will say that was absolutely a foul. Fury fans will absolutely say that wasn't a foul. On the replay, shoulder to shoulder. Childs looks like and you know what? I don't know if he actually got hurt, Jose. He's holding his
like he pulled something,
hamstring. Yeah, and on the replay there, you see him clinching there, holding his right hamstring. Obviously, never want to see anyone get injured in any sport, especially in the MASL. Always a fast-paced environment here, but Craig Childs,
yeah, especially
he wouldn't have fell down if nothing was hurt, right? So with 1:50 here in the third quarter, you look again at the replay, Cisse and Childs, and then he just hits the turf. So got the foul call there, but we always want to make sure these players are up and okay. Well done from Quiros there, showing some sportsmanship to the veteran at Childs.
Yeah, and after, if they did call the foul, they just reversed it after what they saw, that he actually did go ahead and pull something. But Craig Childs, what a player for the San Diego Sockers. And like you said, if it's not an injury, he's not going down, as he currently riding a 10-game point streak for San Diego and top 10s in goals with 17 in the season. What more can you say by this number 37 of the San Diego Sockers?
World class. Always shows great sportsmanship against Ontario. Obviously, San Diego has one of the greatest players in indoor soccer in Childs. Unfortunate to see him hobble off the field. And he's headed to the bench for some medical attention. Let's hope he's okay with that hamstring. On we go now to the far side. And now Toth with 1:42 remaining here in the third quarter. Ontario really trying to generate something here, right? Remember, when they visited here, Ontario, early on in the season, Jose, they were like momentum killers, right? You remember, if anything happened offensively on the attack for Ontario, there was some big defensive stop in the game for San Diego. They do such a great job slowing down the game, making sure it's a pace that they like and want to execute their game plan in.
And that's what we've seen so far here today. As soon as they got that 2-goal lead, quick pace, let them come to you, something will come out of nothing. And we saw that counterattack executed to perfection.
Well, I want to see an Ontario Fury goal. I don't know about you, Jose, but with 1 minute here, let's see if Cisse and company can turn things around to close out the third quarter. Definitely a new energy here in the later part of the third quarter, but obviously going to take a lot more to beat the first place 10-1 San Diego Sockers club, as that ball sails up and out of bounds off of the foot of McNeely. 44.3 remaining.
Regardless of what's going on the field, though, very entertaining defensive game. So if you're the fan of defense and defensive tactics, it's the game to be on the lookout for you tonight.
I got enough of that in the Super Bowl. I want to see offense. Please.
I hear you. Everybody here in Southern California hears you too.
All right, 25 seconds now remaining here in the third quarter. Chico Francisco jostling near midfield with Pino, and he'll maintain possession for the visiting San Diego Sockers. Pardo now will reset here with 10 seconds remaining. No real pressure from the home team Fury, and time will wind down here in the third. Deep ball sent into the near side. 2 seconds, now 1. Officially, after 3 quarters of play, it is a 3-0 lead for the visiting San Diego Sockers. The Pacific Divisional matchup, fourth quarter, continues here in just a second from 11 Sports.
Come on. That's why I'm a proud sponsor of the Fury Soccer Team.
Is your credit card debt driving you batty? We're going up! Just like your credit card fees and interest rates.
Always fear, the debt suckers are here.
One call to Consolidated Credit can get the debt suckers off your back. Consolidated Credit will lower your interest rates, consolidate your bills into one easy payment, and get you out of debt fast. Call Consolidated Credit and get your life back.
Call 800-207-4423. That's 800-207-4423.
Have you ever experienced a tequila aged 7 years in an American oak barrel and finished off 1 year in a French oak barrel? Califino treats yourself to the fino things in life. Use promo code FINO30 to get 30% off your entire order. Buy now on califinotequila.com.
Is IRS debt affecting you and your family? If you received a wage garnishment notice, a bank levy, or have unfiled taxes, or if you have an existing IRS debt of $10,000 or more, you need to make the call.
I made the call, and Paramount gave me peace of mind.
Paramount Tax Relief. We're here when it counts the most.
I made the call.
I made the call.
We made the call.
For a free consultation, make the call today.
After 3 quarters of play from Citizens Business Bank Arena, it is a 3-0 lead for the visiting San Diego Sockers. After 3 quarters of play, 2 big names to touch on. One, Landon Donovan, who is in the building, unsuited. He'll make his debut for the San Diego Sockers on the 15th next Friday at home against Tacoma. And the second name for the franchise, Craig Childs, went down in that third quarter.
Yeah.
If you missed it, it was what looked to be a right hamstring injury after really just going after the ball shoulder to shoulder with the captain of Ontario, Izzy Cisse. So we'll give you any update if possible on Childs. Currently right now, I do not see him back onto the pitch after suffering that injury just a few minutes ago. But Ontario down 3-0, Jose. After 3 quarters of play, it has been Leonardo de Oliveira, a power play goal for San Diego, and then followed up from Escoto with his 15th of the season. Leads the team in goals. Childs leads the team in goals. Escoto right there with 15 on the year. Yeah. And then Pittman found the net for the 4th time and the 6th time points-wise for Pittman. If you're Bernie Lillivois, Kevin Curtis, assistant coach, or head coach Jimmy Nordberg, after 3 quarters of play, you saw spurts and moments of Ontario really applying pressure, really trying to break through and obviously get that first goal in. After 3 quarters of play in that huddle, what is he saying, or what would you say to these guys?
Let's control the game. Let's control the game and frustrate defensively, because that's something that we did see in the early part of the game from the Fury that had them earlier at 0-0 lock tie. Not so much throughout the game as the game has progressed. So if we can see the Fury team that keeps on controlling the game but frustrating defensively while maintaining defensive discipline, should be a good turnaround here in the 4th quarter in the final 15 minutes of play.
Perez to the far side wins that battle. He'll lay it off to the captain, Cisse. And now De Abreu tried to steer it in to the realm of number 16. Head coach Phil Salvaggio did touch on their game plan defensively of shutting down the MASL's league-leading goal scorer in Perez. So far, so good on that game plan. De Abreu shaken up after that challenge. Gonzalez a high boot, but Bond will push forward for San Diego. Now De Oliveira does have a little bit of wiggle room there. And then Quiros recoups defensively. Going against 2 now against the near side boards. So strong on the ball is De Oliveira. He's always been like that. And utilizes that big frame of his, and Pardo and company will reset in their defensive half. Gonzalez will head it back to Quiros, looking for the deep ball, and De Abreu just a little too high. Waving to De Abreu, my fault, my fault. Reset coming to the far side for San Diego.
Yeah, way over the Ontario Fury head, but man, if the Fury are able to score goals on the counter, that's exactly when they are the most dangerous at play. I haven't seen that much here, but if they could get a couple of plays going out that way and have a couple of miscues in the back from the Sockers, should turn around this very quickly.
Chico Francisco and McNeely trying to disrupt any possession there. They did momentarily, but a little miscommunication. And now the ball at Pardo's feet.
Great.
Farber will let that ball roll. And now it is Escoto to the far side with McNeely defending. McNeely feeling a little bit of pressure there. And now San Diego with the turnover, forcing the turnover. They'll reset, slow things down here just on our way in the fourth quarter.
Same play what we discussed with Concaves there. Ball shouldn't be on your feet for longer than 3 seconds. McNeely loses the ball, and now the Fury are back on the defensive side.
Pardo looking over his options, decides to go to the near side boards. Deep ball sent in for De Oliveira. Defended there from Goncalves, and now Serta well up and out of bounds. No real threat there in the end for the two-time MASL Goalkeeper of the Year, Chris Toth. Jose, the MASL now has a podcast. Join host Craig Elstein, I know you fans know that name, as he talks to players, officials, and coaches from across the league and takes you behind the scenes of the MASL. Check out MASLsoccer.com to listen to the past episodes and subscribe to the official MASL podcast. Toth and company trying to ramp up here with 11:55 remaining in the fourth quarter. Kept it close after 2 quarters of play at a 1-0 halftime lead for the Sockers. Back-to-back goals very quickly in that third quarter.
Yeah.
And here we are at 3-0.
Right when the Fury is sort of looking like they were going to go ahead and get a momentum going their way, San Diego just slams the door right in front of them and gets 2 goals quickly.
Quiros, a chip shot attempt to the far side. And now Gonzalez will work a 1-2 with De Abreu. He holds on to the ball and steers it to the near side now to Quiros. Some room there for Charlie Gonzalez. Defended there from Farber. And it's either they get into this defensive shell and do so well there, or they're in the shooting lanes a lot of the time. Now Quiros will let loose. That's steered wide. Charlie Gonzalez did have a small window there. The ball found his feet, unsuccessfully so. And Pardo clears the zone. Now De Abreu. He steers it to the far side. Quiros, no real threat, but they will maintain possession here. Time winding down in the fourth quarter of play.
Sockers just get in this very great defensive mode. They give it away.
Give it away now, and 1-2. There it goes into the back of the net. It is Echeverria, Charlie Gonzalez, and Echeverria capitalize on the turnover from Pardo. It is a 3-1 game.
Just like that, we are able to get one in the back of the net. Gonzalez, not exactly what was going on there in the back for San Diego. Big miscue.
If you just see the replay here, and the referee in that shooting lane, but here we go with the replay as Gonzalez disrupted, and Pardo thought his teammate was right there, and a costly turnover there. Hiram Ruiz, I believe, was the intended player that he was trying to pluck out there, and Gonzalez capitalizing. Man, if that one didn't go in, I would have said, yeah, you know what? It's not the Fury's night.
It's
tonight.
something in the air.
But here we are at 3-1 with 10:10 remaining in the fourth quarter. Let's see if there's some momentum here that picks up. Awakening this crowd inside Citizens Business Bank Arena. So glad you can join us. You're watching the Major Arena Soccer League on 11 Sports, dedicated to delivering world-class sports and lifestyle entertainment. 11 Sports USA is the exclusive national broadcasting partner of the MASL.
And we mentioned that the San Diego Sockers are leading the MASL and defensively just now conceding 40 goals, but that does not stop them from having shaky moments on the defensive side, just as we saw today, right now.
Chico Francisco laid it off to Reyes. Reyes with a left-footed volley attempt. Unsuccessful in the end. We couldn't even hear the whistle.
Yeah, fans are into it. They're into it now.
In the end, a foul call on Ontario. Ball belongs to the Sockers.
Yeah, that goal just went ahead and switched and turned everything around here for the last 9 minutes and 20 seconds of the fourth quarter. Now we have a game.
Well, they always say that 2 minutes after a goal is scored is pretty crucial.
Yeah.
Let's see if that holds true here for Ontario.
You're most vulnerable when you just scored, as they say. And hopefully for the Fury, that's not the case. Up next.
Deep ball sent in off the foot of Escoto. They'll maintain possession with Serta near midfield. No pressure here given from Ontario. McNeely gets danced around. I thought for a second there was a whistle as McNeely was trying to get stuck in, as they say, against Pino. But Pino played on. Serta now to the far side. There's the pressure. You want pressure from your fast guys like Cisse and De Abreu. On the turnover is Cisse. Tangled up there. No foul call. Play continues. San Diego with the ball near midfield. To the far side they work. Goncalves, no touch there. Referees let him play on. And now after that play, Goncalves erupts to the referee to the far side, pleading his case.
Let's take a look at the replay here. Initially, like, he just fell, no one touched him, got back up, and then he got the contact. So that's what the Fury player is arguing here, Goncalves.
Well, that was before the foul call to the far side boards. But a timeout. So a set piece play that head coach Phil Salvaggio potentially would like to capitalize on with 8:14 remaining here in the fourth quarter of play from Ontario. After that foul call to the far side boards, let's see what head coach Salvaggio drew up for the Sockers. On the restart, De Oliveira tripped up. And Goncalves, I mean, that was a foul.
Where's the card?
But Goncalves pleading his case again.
You're fortunate there, no card.
So Ortega, as you watch on the replay here, just steered it to De Oliveira. Jumped in his way a little bit there was Goncalves.
Yeah.
And a set piece play again here for San Diego.
Goncalves knew exactly what he was doing there. Got beat, but if not that, then it's a clear shot there for De Oliveira.
On the restart, he lets loose. That's defended. The wall does their job there. Let's see if they can continue with this applying pressure here, Jose. With 8 minutes exactly now remaining here in the fourth quarter. Quiros nearly loses that ball to De Oliveira. And out to the near side it is the captain Cisse. Charlie Gonzalez, 1v1. Dances around one defender. Not two. De Oliveira intercepts for San Diego.
Got to be smart there if you're Gonzalez. Let the ball go quicker.
Former teammates jostling back and forth in De Oliveira and Gonzalez. In the end, that ends up in Pardo's boots with 7:20 remaining now here in the fourth quarter. Quiros turns around and finds McNeely, and he's tangled up. That ball hits the scoreboard, went sky high. Another split-second decision here for the referees, and it is a card. And I believe it was Pee Wee, Ortega, and McNeely that got tangled up in that third quarter, bumping chests. And let's hope McNeely is okay as head trainer Gil Saldivar makes his way to the pitch.
McNeely taking the worst part out of that 50-50 challenge ball we see.
Right there, they make contact. So,
and chopped up in his legs. Good call by the officials, and we see Pee Wee going to go ahead and take that penalty.
So let's see if they can capitalize here on the first power play on the night. McNeely shaken up, but walking on his own power. A good sign there for the veteran defender. Maybe this is something that they need to capitalize on here.
Absolutely.
Obviously, 7:14 remaining. First power play of the game, waiting for the official call.
Regardless of what the call was, it seems like Pee Wee might have gotten the bad side of that tackle too. And obviously a 50-50 ball that goes that way, they're both going to go ahead and observe some contact. But McNeely hobbling and making himself on the bench, and we'll see if you're able to capitalize.
So 2-minute minor penalty on Ortega for tripping. Right now, shots 15-14 Ontario. Toth with 6 saves so far on the night. And a restart now. 2-minute power play begins now with 7:10 remaining here in the fourth quarter. De Abreu, Quiros, Perez, Gonzalez, and Francisco on the pitch for the power play.
It's now or never.
Gonzalez will steer it. Intercepted there from San Diego with Pino. He'll dribble around a couple defenders, melt about 5 seconds off that clock. Here we are with Quiros to the near side.
Enough time to just milk 30 seconds off that power play.
Francisco to the far side. He'll steer it in a dangerous area. Farber trying to clear defensively. De Abreu does his job, and now Quiros off the turnover. To Gonzalez to the near side. That one almost floated in. Had so much spin on it, almost floated in to the far side. Perez, no shooting lane there. De Abreu with the shot off the hands of Pardo. And in the shooting lane there is Pino. And they'll reset here with 50 seconds remaining on the power play.
Gotta make it happen, gotta make it happen.
De Abreu to the far side. It is Perez now. Lays it off to De Abreu. Quiros, no shooting lane again for Ontario. Not the best touch there from Perez, but they maintain possession here. 28 seconds remain on the power play for Ontario. Quiros will tee it up. No, he'll fake with his right. Go to his left. Laid off to De Abreu. That's deflected. 15 seconds remain now on the power play. No shot on goal yet. Charlie Gonzalez changes that. And Pardo makes it look easy after the deflection before it hits his hands. 5 seconds now, 4. Perez will steer it in. Chico Francisco gets the tip in for Ontario, and it is a 3-2 game here from Citizens Business Bank Arena.
Adrian Perez, number 16, only a matter of time for him to make an impact in this game. And is he able to go ahead and strike with it? We'll see if he gets a deflection, and he just does. See if he gets an assist there. Chico back of the net, 3-2 after a magnificent save by Boris Pardo. Just exactly what the goalkeeper hates to see there. It's 3-2, 1-goal lead, Brian. 5 minutes to go. Let's go.
Yeah, you said it, Jose. Just the slightest of deflections there off of the foot of Chico Francisco. Francisco finds the back of the net for the 11th time this season, providing his 18th point on the year. Perez gets his 25th point, 5th assist of the season. 3-2, 5 minutes left. Here we go, another Pacific Division game going down to the wire here in Ontario.
Man, now we have a game. Exciting stuff.
Capitalizing on that power play is Ontario. Should be an interesting end here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, somehow the Fury able to get what we exactly wanted. We had a miscue on the defensive side, and just that little thing that gets you going forward, whether it be a power play, a foul, something to get you momentum rising. We asked, and you shall receive, Brian. And we have gotten so far 2 goals here in the fourth quarter with 4:22 left. It's anybody's game now.
Ask and you shall receive. I want 2 more goals then. Ray is tied up with, I believe, Bond. And the quick restart there from Reyes to McNeely. Slide tackling or sliding attempt there to get in that shooting lane is Bond. Successfully does so. Nice to see McNeely back onto the pitch, Jose.
Yeah, that power. As soon as you saw him up against that board, he wasn't going to lose that 50-50 ball. Got it back, and now the Fury again on the attack. Here's Toth.
Toth lined up for a shot that was disrupted. And Concalves will maintain possession here for Ontario. To the far side, and now Gonzalez to the near side. Chico Francisco off of that end, back into that pass off the boards. Another near quality shot attempt there. McNeely tripped up again. That has to be a card. But no such thing there given from the referees. A definite foul call there.
Yeah.
I thought a card was going to be given there. As you see on the replay, Bond in no real position to earn that ball or for possession. And in the end, no penalty card, no penalty given to San Diego. And with 3:15 remaining here in the fourth, it's a 1-goal lead for San Diego.
And a dangerous part of the field, too, to go ahead and commit that foul. Not in the terms of being offensive, but exactly where you shouldn't be committing a fouls in the middle of the field. Luckily there for the Sockers, no card.
Chico Francisco steers it to McNeely. And they'll reset with Quiros. Taking some time now is Ontario. Toth up into the attack. Lets loose. Shot attempt is wide. Echeverria thinking about a bicycle kick. Disrupted and swarmed defensively. And now Chico Francisco settles the ball down. Now San Diego with possession near midfield. De Oliveira swarmed there from Echeverria. Held up there. Finally a foul call. Pleading their case is Ontario for some sort of card. None given. 2:25 remains. Nonetheless, a lot of pressure here given from Ontario to wind things down. We saw it right around the 5.5-minute mark.
Yeah.
And they haven't stopped yet with the pressure. So let's see if they get rewarded here after the restart. It is De Abreu. And now Quiros to the near side. Gonzalez now chasing after that ball to the near side boards. Lays it off to Quiros. Man, intended for Francisco, and he let that ball go. Maybe a miscommunication there, but it is Gonzalez. Working a 1-2 to the near side boards. Quiros will lay it off to Toth. Up into the attack is Chris Toth. He'll act like the extra attacker in this instance. Switch of the field to McNeely. He'll settle it down. Gonzalez off the boards. De Abreu settles it down. Tried to tee it up for Quiros. Unsuccessful in doing so. Gonzalez is going to try to apply pressure here. And San Diego maintaining possession. Toth off of his back line. He controls it momentarily. And now Gonzalez has plenty of room. To the far side is De Abreu. Chico Francisco just wide of tying things up with 1:10 remaining here. Pardo will call a timeout. So with 1:08 remaining, a broken play there as you see on the replay. Francisco to the near side, gets the ball here. Not the shot attempt that you wanted. Nonetheless, a quality attempt there from Ontario. Unsuccessful in tying this game up. And with 1:08 remaining here from Ontario, should be an exciting finish here. As San Diego clinging on to that lead. A 3-2 lead here with 1:08 remaining in the fourth quarter. We'll be back momentarily here from Citizens Business Bank Arena. With 1:08 remaining here in the fourth quarter, this game is trending just like the last two matchups from San Diego. A nail-biter here in Ontario. The last two contests, victories for San Diego, 1-goal games in both contests from Pechanga Arena in San Diego. 1 minute remaining here in the fourth quarter. Deep ball sent in to Chico Francisco. Plays it off the boards. Goncalves doesn't feel the pressure there. And Farber trying to clear the zone defensively. Francisco maintains possession. It is Toth. And now Quiros. Goncalves. Quiros. No deflection there in the end. A save off the left hand of Pardo. Ontario pressuring here. To the near side it is Perez. He'll settle it down with Toth. 23 seconds remaining. Quiros to Echeverria. Francisco try to make something out of nothing there, and Pardo will hold on and throw it out. Quiros disrupts that. Perez now with 10 seconds. Laid it out to Chico, and that's broken up in the end from Pino. He'll let loose, find the back of the net with 3.8 seconds remaining. A 2-goal lead and another San Diego victory on the horizon here from Ontario. They pressed and pressed and pressed, and in the end, unsuccessful in tying this game up. And you have to believe they waited just a minute or two too long. But Ontario trying to do their best here against the first place and now 11-1 San Diego Sockers. Ontario will fall below 500 at 7 and 8. Quiros will shoot at the buzzer. A final score here from Citizens Business Bank Arena. A 4-2 victory for the first place San Diego Sockers. Chris Toth unsuccessful in beating his former club for the first time, as well as Jeff Hughes. We didn't see too much of Jeff Hughes on the pitch tonight. The fans want to remind you, outside of being on the team, the best way to know what's happening in the MASL is to tune in to Kick This. Every weekend, Soccer Sam discusses the ins and outs of all the MASL action. Find Kick This every Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern on our iHeart Radio. Fans, the MASL now has a podcast. Join host Craig Elstein as he talks to players, officials, and coaches from across the league and takes you behind the scenes of the MASL. Check out MASLsoccer.com to listen to the past episodes and subscribe to the official MASL podcast. And with the post-game interview, it is Jose Duran on the pitch with Adrian Perez.
Fury star Adrian Perez. Adrian, tough loss. They had you very well defensively locked down in the back. What were the thoughts of tonight's game and the reason why you didn't come up with the victory tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I just thought, they're a very good team. They work on what they do very well, which is, press when they can, and then, just overall, they're a very good team. I just thought they had me, not really looking for my left, so I thought I could have done that a little bit better, and I felt like we gave it our all. We just didn't get our chances. Pretty unlucky, and I would say that's about it.
Yeah, 20 goals so far for you in this season. Next upcoming game against El Paso, what do you have to do to change things up for the next game?
Oh yeah, more aware of my surroundings, move quicker, and take more shots. I think I wasn't really involved in this game as much as I would have liked to, and just work on my shots, get back on the scoring sheet.
Absolutely, thank you, Adrian. Best of luck.
Thank you.
After the win, Brian Farbar. Brian, congratulations on the win tonight.
Thank you.
You were able to hold the great offensive Ontario Fury side to 0 goals for the most of the game. What was the key for tonight's victory with San Diego?
Yeah, you just said it. Keeping them scoreless for the first 3 quarters it's pretty unprecedented in this arena with these guys that can score goals. We were focused on defense, and our offense really wasn't hitting the frame. We were getting shots, but we weren't finishing, and kept it tight for a little too close for comfort.
Up next, another division rival going up to Turlock. How do you do a quick turnaround there to get your mindset ready for that game?
Yeah, fortunately for us, we have a very deep squad. So we have some guys that didn't play tonight that are going to get their shot, fresh legs tomorrow, and go up there and try to get another W for the weekend.
Absolutely. Best of luck on that, and best of luck with the rest of the season, Brian.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate it.
That's Brian Farber from the San Diego Sockers. Final here from Citizens Business Bank Arena, 3-2. San Diego Soccer team's on top of Ontario Fury. Back to you, Brian.
Come on. Get it. Let's go. Shoot. Score. Yeah!
And that's why I'm a proud sponsor of the Fury Soccer team.
Stop. Living with hair loss, that is. Losing your hair is no fun, and no one wants to be bald, but there is hope.
Getting my hair back was the best thing that ever happened to me.
I'm happy with the way I look now.
I'm very excited about my hair.
I feel beautiful.
I love my hair.
Hair Club offers all proven hair loss solutions backed by our commitment to satisfaction guarantee. If you're not 100% satisfied with the solution you choose, Hair Club will apply the purchase price to another proven hair loss solution or transplant more hair at no charge.
And it was the best thing I've ever done.
It looks good on me.
Call in the next 5 minutes to get your free brochure at no obligation. It will tell you everything you need to know about your hair loss problem, and it's free if you call now.
I am more pleased than what I had even imagined.
I at least look, I would say, 5 years younger.
I'm 52, and I look better now than I did when I was in my 40s.
I feel great.
And that's not all. The first 100 people who call will also receive $250 off any hair loss solution from Hair Club. Call now.
Have you ever experienced a tequila aged 7 years in an American oak barrel and finished off 1 year in a French oak barrel? Califino, treat yourself to the fino things in life. Use promo code FINO30 to get 30% off your entire order. Buy now on califinotequila.com.
Live and welcome back inside Citizens Business Bank Arena. Jose, not the end result that we wanted here against San Diego. In the end, a 3-2 victory. Pittman with the game winner for the visiting San Diego Sockers. What did Perez and Farber have to say after the game?
Yeah, it was tough. Perez mentioned that he was locked down the whole game defensively, not able to get comfortable out there, get it to his preferred foot, the left. He knows he's going to have to switch himself up and get himself in better positions to be successful for the next upcoming game. So that's what he said. And Ryan Farber, great tactical game for him overall in the San Diego Sockers.
Yeah, you know, so the next home game, fans, obviously a tough loss here, a bitter pill to swallow against the visiting San Diego Sockers. Sockers improve to 11-1 overall, remain in first place in the Pacific Division. Ontario Fury fall underneath 500 at an overall record of 7-8. Stay in second position in the Pacific. Next home game, Sunday the 17th, local kickoff time at 5 p.m. for the kickoff here inside Citizens Business Bank Arena. They'll play host to the overall 3-8 Southwest divisional opponent, the El Paso Coyotes. Until then, Jose, it's been a pleasure. If you want to see the replay of that interview with Landon Donovan, please tune in to 11 Sports. You can catch the replay for all he had to say for the MASL as well.
Yeah.
For Jose Durem, the entire production team here inside Citizens Business Bank Arena, I'm Brian Tabajay. Final score from Ontario, a 3-2 victory for the San Diego Sockers. We'll see you next time right here on 11 Sports.